Hi everyone, welcome back to Thrive with Sushmita, your go-to channel which helps you to improve your English communication skills. Today, let me first talk about a situation, and I'm so sure that all of you must be able to relate with it. क्या आपके साथ ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि आपको किसी ने कुछ कहा है और आप सुन नहीं पाए और आप immediately you turned into Amitabh Bachchan and asked, हैं? I am sure all of you would have done it. So जब भी आपको कोई कुछ कह रहा है या फिर आप चाहते हो कि सामने वाला कुछ रिपीट करे या फिर आप सुन नहीं पाते हो, आपका immediate reflex होता है So you couldn't hear and you was what happened? So do you think that this is a very, very good or a very, very formal way to express yourself? I am sure all of you know that it is not, right? So in today's video, we will be talking about a very, very common phrase that all of you sometimes use it and sometimes don't, which is pardon me. Now, what does pardon me? When someone has told something which you have not been able to understand or maybe hear it out completely, you just request or just ask the other person to say it again. So instead of doing this next time, please use these alternatives. Let us divide it into two parts. The first one is very, very formal and polite. On the other hand, the second segment will be very casual, very friendly. Let's get started. So in the first segment, when it is about very polite and a formal setting, let's say majorly in your office, in corporates, talking to your seniors, or maybe to people that you don't know so well. So in that case, you have to be very, very polite and formal, and let's see how can you request them to repeat what they said. The first and the most common and the most classic one I would say is excuse me. So you couldn't hear. Now excuse me can be used in 2 to 3 ways. Sometimes when we sneeze, we say excuse me. Sometimes when you want to get way and somebody is there, you just put your hand and say excuse me and just you move out, right? But here I am talking about excuse me when you want the other person to repeat what he said. So if in a meeting or you're talking to somebody and they said something which you couldn't immediately, catch it up, you can just say, excuse me, sorry, I couldn't get that. So you can just say that, excuse me. So the second one is the same thing. Sorry, can you repeat that? Sorry, can you repeat that? Right? So the first one is excuse me. The second one can be sorry. I couldn't get that, right? Can you repeat that? So you can always say that. The third one, and very, very, very formal, is I beg your pardon. So this is in a very formal British English, we say, I beg your pardon, which means you have not understood and you want it to be repeated again. The next one is, would you mind saying that again? When in a meeting, or maybe you're talking to your manager, or you're talking to your colleague, or you are in a formal setting, or maybe you're talking to somebody whom you don't know so well, you can always say, would you mind repeating that again? Or would you mind saying that again? So this shows the kind of respect that you have for people, right? And it also makes you sound very rich, very, very polished, very well versed with your communication. So yes, would you mind saying that again? Yes, this is the way you can communicate. The next one is, I'm sorry, I couldn't get that. I'm sorry, I couldn't get that. Which means what was said, you're apologetic about it. Maybe your focus was somewhere else, or you didn't pay much attention, or maybe you just couldn't understand what happened. So you can always say, I am sorry, I didn't get that. You can also say, I'm sorry, I missed that. I'm sorry, I missed that. So if there's a meeting going on and there are some very, very important points which are being discussed, right? So in that case, suppose there's one point which you didn't get, didn't understand, didn't listen, you can always say, I'm so sorry, but I missed that, right? So the person would be very happy in explaining that to you again. So instead of saying, hey, what, you can always say, I'm sorry. So you're apologetic about it. You're respecting the person's time. You are giving them that respect. So, people around you or people or the others who are there will not actually mind repeating that again, right? So these were very, very formal, very, very polite ways of saying, pardon me, or wanting to hear or know anything for the second time. Now let's shift to more casual and informal setting. Okay, so these can be used when you're with your friends, family, or maybe colleague with whom you're very close. See, these you have to be that judgmental. You have to judge that where you can use these sentences and with whom, right? Like the ones that we discuss are very formal. We don't use those with our friends, with our mom and dad, or maybe with our siblings. But now we will discuss about some casual phrases that will help you to sound very, very smart and very, very confident about yourself. So first one is very short, very simple, very natural. Sorry. Now here, this sorry is not about being sorry. Here it is, sorry, I didn't get that. It is that way. So if your brother tells me, can you please get me a glass of water? You just say, sorry. So here you're also trying to tell, what did you tell? You're expecting me to get a glass of water for you? Or it is like, sorry, I couldn't hear it. That's very short and very, very formal. The next one is, what was that? It's very casual and a very friendly way to ask someone to repeat what they said. Suppose your friend says something and you didn't get it. You can always say, what was that? What was that? The next one is, come again. This is very, very informal and you usually use it with your own people who wouldn't mind the kind of language that you're using. So you can always say, come again, come again. So, it's that you didn't get it and you want it to be repeated. The next one is, I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it. I didn't get what you said. So it's a very easygoing and a very, very clear way to say that you didn't get or you didn't listen or you didn't catch what was being told or what was being said. Now sometimes it also happens that a person is talking and you really want that person to pause there only, like there's a discussion which is happening and you want that person to pause and then say it again. You can at that point of time only interrupt and say, just a moment please. Just a moment, please. So suppose somebody is talking to you about their trip and everything and you can just say, just a moment, please. Can you tell me what was the cost of the visa? Like, if the person is explaining anything to you about your holiday. This is just an example that I'm taking. So these were a lot of phrases that we learned today, which you can use instead of saying hai and repeat that. This will make you sound very sharp, very professional, very casual, very somebody who is very well versed and very, very good with their communication skills. So use this so that you can improve your vocabulary and most importantly, sound sharper and polished. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, take care. See you soon. Keep learning, keep thriving. Thank you so much.